Now, I have to admit that for a long time, Jesus and his reaction to the fig tree was a bit confusing for me. I couldn't figure out exactly what the tree had done that upset Jesus so much. I understand that Jesus was hungry and that a meal of figs would have been nice. But as the Bible points out, figs were not in season. So why curse the tree? Well, to understand this, I picked up The Desire of Ages, in which Sister White points out that this particular tree represented the nation of Israel, who claimed to be something they were not. It turns out that out of all of the trees in the orchard, this was the only tree that had all of its leaves. The rest of the trees were barren. But not this tree. This tree promised to offer something, well, the other trees could not. Fruit. So what does Jesus do? He curses or condemns the tree for promising something it could not provide. Do you see where Jesus is going with this? This is the nation of Israel. Out of all the nations on planet Earth, this one nation claimed to be something it was not. Righteous. Oh, all of the other nations, they were barren. But Israel was special. Israel was blessed. Israel was in the full bloom of God's favor. It claimed to be righteous. But like the tree, it too was lacking fruit. The fruit of righteousness. So much so that when Jesus shows up at the temple, what he finds is not the righteous, but robbers. God's house was supposed to be a house of prayer, a place where people could come and find the fruit of grace, salvation, redemption, and righteousness. But instead of finding a house of prayer, what Jesus found was a den of thieves. And make no mistake, there were people there that day who were looking for God. People who were wanting to get right with God. People who longed for the presence of God. People who needed the mercy and the grace of God. When Jesus saw these people, he loved them. His heart, well, it went out to them. He felt compassion towards them. And now he was going to act on their behalf. Just as Jesus had cleansed the orchard of the false tree, Jesus was about to cleanse God's house of these false religious leaders and teachers. These false religious leaders were supposed to minister to the people, but instead of serving the people, they exploited the people, and they ministered, well, to themselves. Sister White says this is the lesson of the fig tree and the cleansing of the temple. And you can read about it in The Desire of Ages. Here's what she says. The warning is for all time. Christ's act in cursing the tree, which his own power had created, stands as a warning to all churches and to all Christians. No one can live the law of God without ministering to others. In other words, if you want to be righteous, you have to serve. Well, that was our nugget for today. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you tomorrow.